warm welcome to Aso Television as we bring to you Aso Briefing today. I am Joy Annie. Our top stories. NADF distributes 11,720 bags of fertilizers to FCT smallholders farmers. AMAC chairman unveils new principal officers advisors. And on business, CBN orders bank fintechs to disclose beneficial owners. You're watching Aso Briefing real life on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Now straight to our stories. The Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory FCT, Dr. Maria Mahmood, has reaffirmed the federal government and the FCT commitment to achieving food security and boosting agricultural productivity through strategic support for farmers. Dr. Maria Mahmood spoke at the national flag-off and formal handover of 11,720 bags of fertilizers for distribution to 2,930 smallholder farmers in the FCT, organized by the National Agricultural Development Fund at the Pavilion Center, Gariki, Abuja. In a statement by her media aide, Austin Ilume, the minister described the initiative as a timely intervention that demonstrates the government's unwavering resolve to strengthen the agricultural sector and improve the livelihood of farmers. She expressed appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his visionary leadership and commitment to transforming Nigeria's agricultural sector under the Renewed Hope agenda, while lauding Minister of National Agricultural Development Fund for recognizing the role of smallholder farmers in the nation's agricultural value chain. Meanwhile, Executive Secretary, CEO of the National Agricultural Development Fund, Engineer Muhammad Ibrahim, described the earlier flag-off as another practical step towards food security, productivity and inclusive economic growth under the Renewed Hope agenda to reduce cost of production, improve access to quality fertilizers, increase yield per hectare and help strengthen food supply in the market. Now, the executive chairman of the Abuja Municipal Area Council, Christopher Mekalangu, has approved the appointment of a new council secretary and other key officials to strengthen governance in the council. In a statement issued in Abuja, the chairman's senior special assistant on media and publicity, Kingsley Madaki, announced the appointment of Jafaru Gwagwa as council secretary. Mekalangu also named Emeka Oji as chief of staff and David Danjuma as personal private secretary, alongside several supervisory councillors and special advisors to oversee critical sectors of the council. According to the statement, the appointments are aimed at ensuring effective service delivery and fulfilling the administrator's commitment to inclusive development across the 12 political ward of AMAC. The chairman directed all appointees to assume duty immediately and charged them to uphold transparency, professionalism and dedication in serving the people. Mekalangu urged the new officials to shun divisive tendencies and work collectively towards advancing the council's development agenda. Now, still in the Area Council, the chairman of Gwagwalada Area Council, Comrade Kashim Muhammad Ikwa, has pledged to run an inclusive, transparent and people-centered administration despite inheriting what he described as the highest debt profile in the history of the council. The chairman made a pledge during the swearing-in ceremony of the 10 newly elected ward councillors held at the Gwagwalada Area Council Secretariat. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar tells the story.
Addressing the councillors and residents shortly after the inauguration, Comrade Kasimu Mohammed Ikwa thanked the people of Gwagwalada for the confidence reposed in him and his deputy, Honorable Halidu Chache. He also appreciated traditional rulers, religious leaders, women, youths, civil servants, security agencies and other stakeholders for their support.
This victory is not mine alone, rather it belongs to all those who believe that Gwagwalada can become better than what it is today. I acknowledge the effort of my predecessors.
The chairman acknowledged that his administration inherited an unprecedented debt burden, but assured residents that his government will not use the situation as an excuse for poor performance. Instead, he said the administration will cut waste, improve revenue generation, attract investment, and ensure prudent management of public funds.
We will spend the next 4 years working, and we will confront the realities with courage, hardworking, discipline, and innovation. And we will cut waste, improve revenue generation, seek help and partnerships, attract investments, and ensure every kobo belonging to the people is used for the benefit of the people.
He said his administration will be guided by the principles of equity, justice, and fairness, stressing that every ward and every resident will receive equal attention regardless of religious, ethnicity, or political affiliation. In his goodwill message, the former chairman of Gwagwalada Area Council, Alhaji Mustapha Adamu Danze, called on residents to pray for and support the new administration in the interest of the overall development of the council.
All we are saying, pray for him, give him support, give him advice that will be beneficial for the development of Gwagwalada Area Council. All we are saying, infrastructural development will be improved.
Earlier, the acting director of administration, Alhaji Yusuf Abdullahi, formally handed over the affairs of the council to the new chairman, Comrade Kasimu Mohammed Ikwa, on behalf of the immediate first chairman, Alhaji Abubakar Jibringiri. Highlight of the occasion was the administration of the oath of office on the vice chairman, Honorable Halidu Chashi, followed by the swearing-in of the 10 elected ward councillors. A minute's silence was also observed in honor of the late speaker of the Gwagwalada Legislative Council, Mohammed Ibwa. The ceremony was attended by traditional rulers, representatives of the various associations, stakeholders, party supporters, friends, and well-wishers. Abdullahi Mukhtar, Aso Television News.
Now still talking Area Council, the chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Nuhu Daniel Kwali, has approved the appointment of some aides and personal assistants to strengthen the administration of the council. The appointments were contained in a statement personally signed by the chairman and made available to Aso Radio and Television. Those appointed include Mr. Dogara Esu as Senior Special Assistant on Special Duties, Honorable Aruna Monzoye as Personal Assistant 1, Honorable Nasir Suleiman as Personal Assistant 2, and Honorable Ezekiel Elisha as Chief Protocol Officer. Others are Honorable Mustafa Haruna as Protocol Officer 1, Mr. Silas Hosseini as Protocol Officer 2, and Honorable Danlami Damabi as Chief of Staff to the Chairman. According to the statement, the appointment takes immediate effect. The chairman, Mr. Nuhu Daniel Kwali, congratulated the appointees and reminded them that their appointments are a call to service. He urged them to discharge their responsibilities with dedication, commitment, and integrity in the interest of the people of Kwali Area Council. Now still in Kwali, the immediate past chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Danladi Chia, says it was a great honor and privilege to serve the people of Kwali at the local government level. Mr. Chia stated this during the handover and inauguration ceremony of the new chairman of the council, Mr. Nuhu Danladi Kwali, and the newly elected councillors held at the Alhaji Gambo Memorial Town Hall in Kwali. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar reports. To you in a subsequent bulletin. Let's move on now. The Federal Road Safety Corps has recorded another operational success with the arrest of suspected members of a one-chance and phone theft syndicate in Ibadan, Oyo State. The suspects were apprehended on June 15 alongside the Eleyele Ojo corridor after an FRSC patrol team responded to an alarm raised by a female passenger who reported that her mobile phone had been stolen inside a Nissan Micra vehicle. During preliminary questioning, the driver allegedly claimed he could help recover the stolen phone. Moments later, another individual arrived and produced the device, prompting further suspicion of an organized criminal network. Now, the court said officials of the Oyo State Park Management System later revealed that both the driver and vehicle had been under surveillance following multiple complaints linking to them to phone theft and one-chance operation in the state. Following interrogation by FRSC officials, the suspects were handed over to the Nigeria Police Force, a layer-led division for further investigation and possible prosecution. The FRSC says the arrest highlights the importance of vigilant patrol operations and urge members of the public to remain alert and report suspicious activities to security agencies. Now, troops of Operation Enduring Peace, OPEP, have restored normalcy in Mangu Town, Mangu local government area of Plateau State, following a protest by the youth over the alleged killing of a herder in the community. Security forces and sources say the protest erupted at about 9:20 a.m. on June 15 when youths from the Hausa community took to the streets after reports emerged that a herder identified as Ibrahim Bappa had been killed by youth from another community. The situation reportedly became more tense after the body of the deceased was returned from the central mosque and identified as that of a Hausa man, prompting angry reactions and raising fears of a wider disturbance. In response, troops were swiftly deployed to the area where they successfully dispersed the protesters and restored law and order, preventing the unrest from escalating further. Security personnel have continued to maintain a strong presence in the area to forestall reprisals and ensure peace, while authorities say investigations into the circumstances surrounding the killings are ongoing. Now, when Aso Briefing returns, more stories to stay with us.
From June 11th till July 19th, everything fit way. The FIFA World Cup 2026 go happen. Touchlight all 104 matches on top 4 correct channels. Sharply grab your GoTV decoder, Go Tenor plus 1 month jolly for only 15,000 naira. Live on Super Sport, only on GoTV.
Many thanks for staying there. You're watching Aso Briefing. We are live on DSTV channel 392, also on Star Times TV, channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has dismissed reports suggesting that it has adopted or is considering new taxes on telecommunication services and petroleum products following the publication of the International Monetary Fund IMF Article 4 consultation report on Nigeria. The clarification followed reports that the IMF had said Nigeria may need to extend VAT to fuel product and introduce excise duties on telecommunication services to raise revenue, fund development, and social spending. However, a statement by Efe Ovupore, Head Information and Public Relations Unit, Ministry of Finance, on Wednesday, said the government report misrepresented the content of the IMF report and did not reflect its policy direction. The government clarified that the value-added tax VAT waiver on petroleum products remains in place and has not been withdrawn. It also noted that although existing legislation provides for a fuel surcharge, such a measure can only take effect through a ministerial order and a publication in the official Gazette. Now let's take you to Nasarawa State now, where revitalizing primary health care remains a key priority of the federal government as part of effort to improve maternal and child health outcomes, strengthen immunization coverage, address workforce shortages, and expand access to essential healthcare services at the grassroots. The special report examined the impact of these interventions in Nasarawa Igon local government area of Nasarawa State. It also explores the gaps identified through official assessment and whether the ongoing upgrades are translating into improved healthcare delivery for communities. The report.
This is Alugani Primary Healthcare Center, Nasarawa Igon, Nasarawa State, serving a community of over estimated of 25,000, including women and children. Join me as we see how these residents have access to basic healthcare needs in the facility. This is the consulting room. Yes, this is the consulting room. The Alugani South Primary Healthcare Center is a structure with 3 blocks and partially equipped with medical tools and poor percentage of staff strength compared to the global guidelines and the minimum standard for primary healthcare in Nigeria, which requires staffed with a comprehensive multidisciplinary team capable of providing quality healthcare services on a 24-hour basis. The PHC has undergone revitalization, including the installation of solar power and water supply facilities.
But with the revitalization, we thank God that we will talk about the issue of essential drugs. It has actually helped in order to provide all our pregnant women with the essential drugs needed for their pregnancy upkeep. And that really solves the problem of the antenatal issue. And for the immunization generally, which comprises both children under 1 and even the pregnant women, we are having a storage facility now because of the support in the area of our refrigerator. You know, we have problem of light, and the solar energy has been supporting us, and this is part of the what makes things to go further.
They treat me the way they're supposed to do, and it was good. I like it. I like the service, even though that was my first time, but I like the procedure.
However, concerns remain regarding the water system, as the water tank and infrastructure have reportedly not been functional since installation.
This our facility, we lack so many things there. The things that we lack there, we need borehole, because sometimes if we went to hospital like this, they'll ask us to wash, or any child or woman who vomit, they will ask to be clean, and for them to get water, they think will be very difficult for us to get. So we need borehole.
With the challenges I'm seeing in the facility, I think it's only water. Because sometimes when we are in the facility, we have to go out to look for water in the near houses, because they don't have main source of getting water inside the facility. I think that is the only problem.
The Alugani South is a rural farming community with a population of over 25,000 people. Access to quality healthcare remains a pressing concern. For many residents, the availability of healthcare services can mean the difference between health and death, making a functional and adequately equipped primary healthcare center vital to the well-being of the community. As the federal government intensified to revitalize primary healthcare facilities nationwide, communities such as Alugani South are beginning to witness signs of progress. How many estimate of population do you think we have in this?
I think it's 24,895.
Yet, beyond the statistics and official projections lies a more complex reality. While the revitalization of the Alugani South Primary Healthcare Center has enhanced vaccine storage capacity and improved maintenance of critical equipment, residents and patients say significant challenges remain.
Whenever we come to the hospital, we sometimes hardly find health workers on duty. We have to go to their houses to call them to attend to us. That is one of the challenges we face. If the government can provide accommodation for them, it will go a long way. The other day, we brought a sick person and did not meet any health worker. We had to rush him to another hospital. We are asking the government to help us with more medication and, most importantly, with water supply.
But we are proposing by the end of, maybe by the fourth quarter of this year, there may be a mass net campaign.
According to the official gaps analysis report of the National State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, PHC remains the foundation of healthcare delivery across the states. Reports indicate that National State has over 770 primary healthcare facilities representing approximately 71.3% of all healthcare facilities in the state. This underlines the critical role PHCs play in delivering essential healthcare services to millions of residents.
The revitalization mostly are done in the basic healthcare facilities, and we have 14 basic healthcare facilities. For now, 4 has been revitalized out of the 14 that we have, and I think there's that more of them are going to be revitalized. But those 4 that are actually revitalized, that's where we have a lot of changes.
However, despite sustained investment by government and development partners aimed at achieving universal coverage, questions remain about whether these facilities are sufficiently equipped to meet the growing healthcare demands of the population. Elizabeth Kasham, Aso Television News.
Well done, Elizabeth. Now let's take you to business. The Central Bank of Nigeria has introduced new regulations requiring banks, fintechs, and other payment service providers to disclose their ultimate beneficial owners and localized payment transaction data within Nigeria. In a circular issued on June 15, the Apex Bank said the measures are aimed at improving transparency, strengthening oversight, and promoting a more competitive and resilient payment ecosystem. The CBN directed financial institutions to maintain accurate records of beneficial ownership and make such information available to regulators when required. The new framework also mandated that all payment transaction data generated within Nigeria must be stored and managed locally, while introducing market share limit to reduce concentration risk in the digital payment sector. The CBN says the directive align with anti-money laundering regulations and are designed to enhance transparency, financial stability, and consumer confidence in Nigeria's growing digital payment industry. Now, the president of Senegal's National Assembly has called for stronger regional cooperation and legislative action to expand renewable energy access across rural West Africa. Speaking at the opening of the ECOWAS Parliament, the localized joint committee meeting in Dakar, and represented by Honorable Babakar Ndiaye, the parliamentary leader said electricity remains a key driver of economic growth, job creation, healthcare delivery, and educational development in rural communities. He noted that despite progress across the region, millions of West Africans still lack reliable electricity, limiting economic opportunities and widening the gap between urban and rural populations. The Senegalese lawmaker urged ECOWAS member states to harness the region's vast solar, wind, hydro, and biomass resources, while encouraging Parliament to enact laws that attract investment and support universal access to energy. Other speakers at the meeting highlighted the role of renewable energy in achieving sustainable development and called for urgent action to address funding challenges facing the West African power pool. The 5-day meeting is expected to develop recommendations aimed at accelerating rural electrification and strengthening rural economies across the ECOWAS region. The Dakar meeting continues until June 19th, with lawmakers and stakeholders examining strategies to achieve universal energy access and sustainable development across West Africa. But that's the more we can take on Aso Briefing today. Many thanks for your time. I am Joy Annie. Have a good day ahead.